Hello gentlemen, sorry it's been a long while since the first update, but I've now got the second update for you on my Airfix 1/24 scale North American Aviation rf-51d Mustang. So before I do the update, usual business of shout outs. Model Pro 72d, basic modelling Rob, Aaron Newlands, Atomic Dog 32 Brian, Atomic Dog 32 Brian, Aaron Newlands, Shane Highland, Cleo and Lewis, Shane Highland, Making Moles Again Gary, Mark O'Neill, Nigel Wells, Cohen C, Waterloo 745 John, Warren Blanche, Lon 757 Pete, Laz Guy and Spartek, RSDV, Callum Wilding, Master HQ, Dead Brown Swam, Mr. Z Kits, AZ Kits, Andrew Coins, Airfix Street, Mr. W Mosquito WS, Trainboy 220, Golden Eagle, Crazy Kit Builder, Crazy Modeler, Hobby Modeler, The Child Modeler, James Darby 64, Hobby Modeler, UK Scale Modeler, Mr. Great Models, looking for the update, Paul Marsh, Engine Dartside Musvivi, Dan Ely Modelling, Stephen M. Right, Facebook shouts to Dan, Marin, Ellie, Mida, Kelsey, Kira, Chloe, Mum, Hayley, Billy, June, Greg, Lynn, Lenny, Ashley, Alex, Andrew, Gavin, George, Tom, Tristan, John, Joe, Sam, Caroline, Luke, Lisa, Lucy, Louie, Debbie, Diggs, Nan, Miss You, Nico, and Charlotte. Charlotte, thank you for getting back to me on the 27th of April, and I'll speak to you when you next check your next. And obviously, I look forward to hearing from you when you next check your emails. But anyway, enough about that. You haven't watched the video to me going on about my best mate. My best friend that I've been friends with for 3 years now. You've come to watch the progress video on the P51, on the rf-51d Mustang. So, first part of the update is that, take the pilot out first. So, the first part of the update, as you can see now, I've fitted the. As you can probably see now, I've fitted the engine firewall bulkhead, include the aft tank and the engine firewall bulkhead to the inside of the engine firewall bulkhead, the instrument panel, the cockpit, the aft tank, and the radio boxes and the radio box and the radiator to the inside of the starboard side fuselage. All the components I've just described, that I've just mentioned, fitted in really well, fitted in with no issues at all in terms of steps or gaps. No steps or gaps at all. So really decent fitters, really decent fitted all the components fitted in really decently. So yeah, so it's a really decent fit. So internal modules, internal cockpit parts, the fuselage, cockpit, in like the interior to the fit to the current state of interior, the interior parts that you see here fitted really well. And there it is from the rear, well, from diagonally from the rear. And just to show that I haven't forgot the pilot, here's what it looks like currently with the pilot in. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is what it looks like with the. This is what it looks like with the pilot in, gents. So I'll give you a long while on each. I'll give you a good long while to see that. Right. 3, 2, 1. Changing to the next sub-assembly. Now. So, out of the fuselage. So, as part of the update, as you can now also see, I've also assembled the mechanism that. I've also assembled the mechanism that opens and closes the mechanism that opens and closes the radiator temperature control door. So basically, this is the mounting point. This is what mounts it into the fuselage, but this stick with an L shape on this L-shaped stick on the that's coming out the bottom. Basically, basically when you open and close the radiator flap on the model, when the model's finished, this basically raises and lowers to open the radiator flap. So that's the mechanism that opens the flap, and that's that. And as you can see, it's all paint, and it's also painted, and it's painted in Humbrol acrylic 56 aluminium. So that's the radiator flat. That's the radiator temperature control door lower opening and closing mechanism. There we go. So that's the opening. That's the opening and controlling. That's the opening and closing mechanism. Next part is the actual radiator temperature control door. Next part being this is the radiator temperature control door. Gents, on the outside, obviously it's unpainted, because obviously it will be painted when I paint the actual when the model's fully assembled. I'll paint it when the model's fully assembled. But on the inside, you've actually got the you've actually on the inside you've actually got the hinges. You've actually got the on the inside you've got the attachment hinges, the hinges that open and close the radiator temperature control door, and you've actually got and then that bit there is where the mechanism that I just showed you connects to the radiator control door, the radiator temperature control. That's where the mechanism attaches to this door. And as you can see, like the mechanism, the radiator control door is painted in Humbrol 56 aluminium. So yeah, that's the radiator control door. So I'll give you a couple more minutes on that. Right, changing to the reason why I've changed the title on this video. While I've changed the title of the previous video. Right, gentlemen, as you can now probably see, I've assembled the photo reconnaissance camera lens housing, and this is why I've changed it to rf-51, because the R stands for reconnaissance, and stands for reconnaissance because this has got photo reconnaissance cameras. It's got one in the side there, and it's got one in the bottom there, with the covering door in the open position. And like I say, on the outside it's the kit, the plastic is the cut. On the outside it has got a bit of paintwork, but not too much paintwork. But the bulk of it is unpainted. But on the inside, obviously, you've got it's painted in Humbrol aluminium. And like I said, this is why I've changed the title to the This is why I've changed the title to rf-51d Mustang, because of this bit at the bottom. Because this bit, gents, is specific to the variant I'm building, which is the rf-51, the rf-51d Mustang. If I wanted to just build it as a normal F51D Mustang, I could have installed the standard kit part, but because I wanted to build the photo reconnaissance variant, the photo reconnaissance, the reconnaissance fighter variant of the Mustang, that's why I decided to build the photo reconnaissance variant. So that's the photo reconnaissance lens, camera lens housing, and that's also the reason why I changed it to rf-51d Mustang. So now changing to the last, so we'll just give you a couple more minutes, and then I'll change to one of the four last sub-assemblies. And then I'll just show you the last four sub-assemblies. Right, changing to the tail wheel doors. Right, as you can now probably see, this is the starboard side. This is the starboard side tail wheel door. As you can see, this is the inside of the door. This is the door. This is the inside of the door. So it is painted in. It's painted interior. It's painted in Humbrol acrylic 226 interior green, and the hinges are painted 56 aluminium. Yeah, the hinges are painted 56 aluminium. And then the outside, the outside, it's painted. It's predominantly the bare plastic, but you've got some. Obviously, you've got some of the aluminium on the outside and some of the interior green on the outside. So that's the starboard tow wheel door. And here you can see the port tow wheel door. Port side tail wheel door. Again, the inside the door is 226 interior green. The hinges are Humbrol acrylic Humbrol acrylic 56 Humbrol acrylic 56 aluminium. And then the inside, and then on the outside is predominantly plastic, but you've got some overbleed of but then you've got some. It's predominantly plastic, but then you've got some of the interior green on the outside, and you've got some, and you've also got some, and there's some interior green on hinges. I'll touch that up when the hinges get inserted into the port side of the. When the doors get inserted to their relative locations into their correct fuselage halves. Okay, so that's the port. So that's the port fuselage. So that's the port and the starboard tail wheel doors. Right, now changing to the tail wheel itself. So now as you can see, I've now also assembled the tail wheel. I've now also assembled the tail wheel. The way the tail went together is you assemble the tail wheel onto this arm here, and then you put this arm, and then you put this you put the tail wheel onto this, onto the suspension strut. And then the suspension strut goes into its housing, which is here, and then these two, and then the housing is two separate pieces. So that's how it went together. Fit wise, it went all the tail wheel to the tail wheel went together fine. The arm to tail wheel, the fit between to the arm, the fit to the tail wheel to the suspension strut fitted fine, and then it fitted fine into the rest of the tail wheel assembly, into the housing, which is separate pieces. And as you can probably see, the tail wheel is predominantly the metalwork part of it is Humbrol aluminium, Humbrol 56 aluminium, again acrylic, and then the rims of the metal rims of the tail wheel are Humbrol acrylic, Humbrol aluminium, and then to give it that more flat rubber, and then to give it that used flat rubber texture, I painted the actual rubber tire part of the tail wheel in Humbrol 33 matte black, just to give it that more realistic sort of matte sort of that mattish worn matte appearance to rubber that you get when rubber's when rubber's been in contact with the ground for some time. When rubber's been in contact with the ground on the move for quite some time. So yeah, that's the tail wheel. And then the final part of the update, I didn't show this in my, I didn't do this photo-wise, but as you can also see, I've also, and then the final, no, hang on, that's not the final bit, not, the rudder, where's my rudder? And then and then of course, the final two bits being, I've also, and then I've assembled the rudder. No steps or gaps. All the procedure was just to attach these two tabs to one side, and then glue the other. Then glue this together, because the rudder is three separate pieces. Is four separate pieces, being the two rudder halves, and then the attachment tabs. So that's the rudder. That's that side and that side. So that's that side of the rudder, and then that side of the rudder. And then the final part of the update, which I'll have to take a photo of later, is that, as you can now probably see, I've also I've now also painted the inside of the port side fuselage. And like I say, the hole in the port side of the fuselage is for the photo reconnaissance camera lens. So that's the port side. Fuselage half. The engine bay, like the starboard side, the engine bay and the tail wheel, and the engine bay and the rear of the fuselage are aluminium, and the cockpit and radiator area are all interior green, and obviously where the instrument panel goes is 50 is Humbrol 33 matte black. So yeah, that's the starboard side. That's the port side fuselage half, and it's painted. So and at the moment it's just painted. So I'll just give you till 25 minutes on there, and then I'll describe when you will next see this thing. Right, so you're probably wondering when you'll get update 3 from me. Well, you won't get update 3 from me till I've assembled the rudder lowering mechanism, the radiator control, the radio temperature control door, the mechanism that opens and closes the radiator control door, the radiator that opens the radiator temperature control door, the tail wheel, the rudder, and the tail wheel door, the starboard side tail wheel door, the rudder, the tail wheel door bracing mount. There's two frames that have got to go in that actually hold the starboard side tail wheel door in, the tail wheel and the rudder. And I've also got to install. There's another bar, and then there's a bar that's got to be mounted in the engine compartment prior to engine installation, and then you won't see it till the fuselage, to the interior, to the side console of the port side interior of the port side fuselage fuselage half to the port side cockpit side console that's been installed in the cockpit of the port side fuselage half. The only reason why I didn't mention the radiator control door and I haven't mentioned the radiator control door and the photo reconnaissance camera lens is because I'm likely to only fit them when I'm actually closing the fuselage up, like when I actually close the fuselage up, when I'm about to close the fuselage, because there's and then the only other component which I haven't shown you, which I'll show you in the next update, is the oil cooler control, the oil cooler temperature control door. So till update 3, basically till update 3, gentlemen, which I don't know when it'll be. Paint in your hands and face, glue in your hands and face. Don't annoy your parents. Be good to them. Don't annoy your parents. Stay safe, be happy, and enjoy modelling. And until the next video, which I don't know when it will be, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Alright? Alright? I'll see you guys on the next video. Alright? Bye, gents. Alright, gentlemen. And like I say, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So, see you guys on the next video. Alright? Bye, gentlemen. Bye, gents. Bye, gentlemen. Bye.